Welcome, everyone. Just a bit of an intro to UAL. So we're ranked number two in the world for art and design, QS rankings by university subject for the last about 6 years now. It's a real testament to our amazing facilities, teaching staff, and we've recently been ranked in the top 10 of UK universities overall by Guardian university rankings. So yeah, we're really ranked highly by students for our world quality teaching and facilities. So it's a really great place to come and study. This is a great quote from our former Chancellor, Grayson Perry. UAL is the world's biggest factory for making trouble. Yeah, it's a quote we always use because it really is true of UAL. And we're made up of six colleges. So we're one university with six colleges underneath it. So Camberwell College of Arts, Central St Martin's, Chelsea College of Arts, London College of Communication, London College of Fashion, and Wimbledon College of Arts. We also have a number of research institutes, and one of those is the Creative Computing Institute, and we're also offering undergraduate and postgraduate courses there. So there's lots of different options if you want to choose to study abroad with us. And we're not just for artists, so you don't have to be studying art or design to work in the creative sector. And we've got loads of subjects across all kinds of disciplines. So, ranging from business, we've got buying and merchandising, design management, computing, as I mentioned, we've got creative computing, virtual reality, humanities, cultural criticism, journalism. We've also got film practice, sound arts and design, science, even we've got biodesign, cosmetic science, and psychology of fashion. And theatre, so yeah, contemporary theatre and performance design and practice. So yeah, we really are. We say the only thing we kind of don't teach is music, really. Everything under art and design, and we generate multidisciplinary talents in the creative industries all over. We are based in a few different locations around London, mostly in central London. So Central St Martin's is based in King's Cross in Zone 1. We've got Chelsea College of Arts in Pimlico, right next to Tate Britain. We've got London College of Communication also in Zone 1, right by the river in Elephant and Castle. We've got an amazing new site for our London College of Fashion that's just opened in the Olympic Park in East London, just by Stratford International Station. And it opened about 18 months ago and it's brought together six different campuses into one amazing location that's 13 stories high. It overlooks the Olympic Park. It's just, yeah, amazing facilities there. It's just been nominated for a REBA Award, one of six shortlist alongside Big Ben Regeneration. So yeah, it's a really fantastic place to see. We've also got Camberwell College of Arts in South London, a really vibrant creative community, lots of galleries and yeah, art around that area. We've got Wimbledon College of Arts in Southwest London. That's one of our smaller colleges, but it's a really close-knit community based in Leafy, Southwest London. Um, and we have a central office, which is also where Creative Computing Institute base themselves. They're spread over two campuses, but we've got the central office in High Holborn, in central London. And Creative Computing also have some teaching at Camberwell College of Arts in South London. So, yeah, real spread of locations. But yeah, great, always great, and near a tube and everything. So, yeah, really exciting place to be. So, a bit about London. So, London is an amazing place to be a student. So, we have so many different languages spoken. We're home to amazing theatres, museums, art galleries. Um, we have loads of green spaces. Actually, it's a hub of creativity and creative sector is growing. Yeah, almost twice as fast as other sectors in the UK. It's a really connected city, so it's a great base with direct flights to 350, over 350 global destinations. So, yeah, London is a great place to be. Study abroad can be a little bit confusing when we're trying to explain it at UAL. So we tried to simplify it a little bit, but the different options are for term time, we've got the Integrated Study Abroad program. This is where you can take one of our degree courses, and this runs in autumn, spring, or fall year. We've got the Study Abroad semester, which is a bespoke, more modular program with four different pathways to choose from. This also runs in autumn or spring. We've got Creative Industries London, which is a 3-week course running in September or January. You can do that as a standalone, or you can combine it with our integrated study abroad program. We also have summer programs. And new for spring 2027, we're planning to add a internship program to our study abroad semester in spring. So that's quite early days for that, but yeah, that's something we're planning to offer from 2027. So
Hi, Tracy. Sorry
yeah.
to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. I don't think the slides have popped up on my screen. I don't know if anyone else is having an issue. I
Oh,
don't seem to see the slides, but maybe it's just.
I can see them, Scott.
ah,
Can
Oh,
see as
sorry.
well. No, it's fine.
Oh, sorry. Okay, just in case our guests couldn't see them. Sorry to interrupt.
oh,
If,
great.
if there is anyone who can't see, maybe putting a message, it's
Yeah, can
let us
anyone
know.
pop in the chat if you can't see the slides? Um, okay. No, I'm not seeing anyone else saying they can't see the slides. Scott, I wonder if you leave and re-enter because you're gonna I'm gonna hand over to you shortly. So yeah, maybe that
Thanks,
might be
Tracy.
worth
Well, apologies to
yeah,
interrupt you. I'll see
no,
you
no
shortly.
problem. See you in
Thank
a
you.
bit.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thanks. Great. And Drishti, thank you for your question. We'll address that at the end of the session. So yeah, we'll just carry on talking a bit about study abroad. So yeah, why study abroad at UAL? So we're great for employability at UAL. So we've been ranked number 1 in the UK for starting a business and number 2 for entering business leadership roles. And employability is something we bring into all our study abroad programs. So on all of our degree programs, there's always an employability aspect. We've got a team that works around that, and there's always a focus on bringing that in. And it's something we do on our semester program as well. We have creative career routes events, and yeah, we're that's the reason we're bringing in this internship program from spring 2027 as well. We have student benefits in terms of you transferring your credit back home. So if your university approves, you get a record of study from us, and you can, yeah, pass that back to your home university, and then they can help you to transfer credits. And that's for all of our programs that you get a record of study. So even our summer programs. We also offer a digital badge, so you can display that on your social media, your CV. You can even use the digital badge in UCAS applications. It's a great thing to add to your LinkedIn. So yeah, that's a really good benefit of doing the study abroad program. I mentioned our amazing facilities. So yeah, we're ranked top 2 in the world. So really great place to study, and all of our programs have access to workshops, technicians. You can actually, as a study abroad student, access all the colleges to use different libraries and things like that. So we encourage you to, even if you're based mainly at one college, you can kind of visit other colleges and see what the libraries are like. There's different archives and collections across the different colleges. Our London College of Communication, for example, have a Stanley Kubrick archive, and yeah, there's an amazing fashion textiles library at Central St. Martin's. So yeah, different resources you can access across the colleges. You also get an alumni discount for postgraduate study. So, for any study abroad program, including summer 3-week programs, you can get 20% off postgraduate study if you complete the study abroad course. So, that's something not everyone always knows about. So, we like to let you know about that as early as possible. Um, so, let's just move on. I'll just double check. Scott, can you see the slides this time?
Tracy, yes, I can. So
Oh,
sorry to
amazing.
interrupt
That's
you,
good.
but yes,
No,
I can
no,
see them.
that's really
I, j-
great news.
I,
I'm
I
going to
just
hand
worried
over.
in case.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm going to hand over to Scott in a bit. So we wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
Great. So a bit about the timeline. So we've got September is when our autumn term starts, and we've got spring term, which starts in January or February, depending on the program. So these are the different kind of timelines for the autumn and spring terms. For integrated study abroad, which is where you come onto our degree programs, you can do the full year as well. So you can come in autumn and leave in spring, the end of the spring term. These are our dates and deadlines. I will share the slides so everyone's got them, and our website has a really useful dates, deadlines, and fees page as well. But the application deadline is 31st of October for spring. So if you are thinking about coming in spring 2026, so starting in January or February 2026, the deadline is coming up very soon. So yeah, do let us know if you're planning to apply for that. We do also have dates and deadlines coming out for our 2026-2027 programs. So yeah, if you're planning to come from autumn 2026 or spring 2027, these are the dates and fees for that. For autumn, the deadline is in May, and for spring, the deadline is in October. So, yeah, a little bit about our integrated courses. I've mentioned a bit about it already, but for this, you focus on one UAL degree. So, you don't choose modules across different degree programs like some other study abroad courses at other universities. For UAL, you would choose one degree program and you apply for that specific degree program. And then, if you get accepted, then you're on that track taking the same schedule as a home UAL student. So yeah, that's one little difference of UAL compared to some other places. We've got over 100 undergraduate programs across UAL, so yeah, we recommend just looking at the webpage for the undergraduate programs and seeing what's the best fit for your experience. With integrated, generally, you do need some prior experience and a portfolio. So, yeah, our team, so Annalisa and Asta that you met, are always working with students to kind of advise on the program they want to apply for. And yeah, if you apply, you can also specify a second choice. So if you don't get into your first choice, there are other alternatives. The UAL Study Abroad semester. So this is our bespoke study abroad program, which is more modular. So rather than choosing one track of the degree course, you can choose modules around a general theme. So we've got 4 tracks for that. You can choose London College of Fashion, and you can either do fashion design or fashion business. We've got London College of Communication. You can choose media and communication, or we've got Central St. Martin's and Advanced Fashion Design. So this is open to students from diverse educational backgrounds, and students can study on the autumn or the spring. I'll go through them in more detail. But with the UAL study abroad semester, we have 3 mandatory units which are shared across the different colleges. So, whether you're at London College of Communication, London College of Fashion, or Central St. Martin's, you'll all take these 3 units. So, understanding contemporary cultures, London cultural studies, and creative histories. Then, depending on what college you've selected and what program, you'll take electives based around your interests. So, for fashion product design, there are units from menswear design to fashion styling. But this does vary, so it's always best to check our website, which has all the live information. And for fashion business, there's different modules. So some you might be mixing with students from the other pathway. But yeah, these are generally the units available. The Central St. Martin's. This does require prior experience. So For advanced fashion design, it's a slightly longer portfolio that's required, and we require some prior experience for that one. And you would do some core units. So everyone on this pathway would take advanced fashion design, advanced fashion on, off the body, and visual identity and communication. And then you can tailor it. So it's a minimum of 12 credits and an option to top up to 14 to 16 credits. That's US credit recommendation, by the way. Then we've got London College of Communication, Media and Communication pathway. So again, there are core units for this. So you would take Introduction to Media, Brand Storytelling, Creative and Technical Skills, and then there are electives that you can build to tailor to your interests. And this is a quote from one of our past students just talking about how hands-on the classes were. All of our study abroad semester courses involve an element of really engaging, and you don't just stay in a classroom. There's seeing areas of London you might not see otherwise. So yeah, this was a real highlight for our student. We do have summer programs, so I won't go through this in too much detail, but just to mention there are 3-week courses that run in 3 sessions. So session 1 is from 29th of June, session 2 is from 20th of July, and the 8-week summer school is from 8th of June. We do have a webinar next week that focuses on the summer program. So if you're interested, I'll send a link in the follow-up to that, just in case you want more information on the summer programs as well. This is one of our summer students that came this year. So just a tiny bit about our entry requirements. So for term time, students are generally expected to have a minimum GPA of 3 or equivalent. We do have English language requirements. It's an online application form, and we need a recent transcript showing your grades, a letter of support from the faculty, personal statement, and if you need a portfolio, you will get an email from a system called PebblePad, giving you more instructions. The portfolio requirements vary depending on the program. So for example, for fashion product design semester, because this is a more beginner friendly course, we require 5 images. But for the advanced fashion, we would require 20 to 25 images. For media and communication semester, it would be a piece of written work, similar for fashion business. For our integrated programs, again, the portfolio requirement would match what the degree course generally looks for. So whatever email you get from PebblePad, then you would follow the instructions for what the portfolio requirements are. And we don't need a portfolio for all of our summer study abroad courses, but some of them do require. I'll send these slides around. I know we're a bit limited for time, so yeah, I will move along to hand over to Scott, who's going to talk a bit more about portfolios and the academic differences at UAL. Well, welcome, Scott.
Thank you so much, Tracy, and apologies for jumping in to stop your flow, just to make sure everyone could hear and see. So yeah, hi everyone, I'm the academic lead on study abroad. We have maybe 10 minutes or so. There's quite a lot of information, so if you do have questions, feel free to put them into the chat box as I'm speaking if there's things that you're wondering or any prompts. It's informal, so just feel to jump in. So next slide. Tracy, are you okay to do the slides? Yeah, so just a little overview of how we see the programme. So study abroad is really important to all of us in the team, and we have the ABC values. So we want our students to be ambitious, to think collectively, but also for themselves, have ambition and purpose with your projects, have resilience, have flexibility within that, recognise and build resiliences as a creative person. That's really important, and also be part of a community. So believe in what happens locally, but also the bigger picture of the world. But we do believe in community and collaboration. Also, we talk about active learning. So it's about being active in your process and in your projects. Personally, I think about the Bauhaus teaching theory, which is where the pupil and the teacher have a sense of community and purpose within the working together. And then constructivism is a sort of teaching sort of teaching style, which is being about more constructing knowledge than being less passive within your journey. The next slide. So that's maybe the serious slide over. But yes, UL community. So we really rely on the amazing teachers, the amazing professors, the amazing people that work with the students to really embed good practice. So these are an example of some really interesting projects. So we have a lot of biodesign work, Maison Zero, which is a collaboration with LVMH and Rennie Materials. Next slide. That's the community. I focus on climate awareness. So on the right-hand side, there's an amazing shoe design, which came from a recycled bicycle tire. And a student came during the summer to create that prototype, which was really exciting. So anything that's kind of recycled, reuse. On the left-hand side of the image is paper, which is waste paper, which comes from the publication workshop at Central St Martin's. So we take lots of offcuts of paper from when they make books and when they make publications, and we embed that into our projects, so there's nothing wasted. Next slide, please, Tracy. I can let that person. Yeah, just some of our brilliant, fantastic tutors. So the bottom right, you will see Lily, who's one of our amazing jewelry tutors, professors, and she's wearing an oversized dishwashing sponge, which is quite funny. She makes oversized props and jewelry and lots of editorial pieces. And then we have Joshua and Julie, the two professors in beautiful colour. They're sort of successful artists in their own right, but they also work with us on the programme. Next slide. So I think you get the feeling that community is important to us. That is something that we really value. And again, just some of our professors. Megan, the bottom right, is a beautiful image of her illustrations. And Lucy, the top right, 16 years of planet-saving style. Lucy makes handmade bespoke couture pieces of fashion for London Fashion Week. So that's another professor we have. Next slide. Creative Career Routes. So this is an exciting part of our semester programme where we run an event either at East Bank. So the left-hand image is London College of Fashion, which is part of Stratford, the Olympic Park in Stratford, East London, where I'm actually working today. And on the right-hand side is Central St Martin's in King's Cross. I know that Tracy already spoke about the two sites already, but we run a creative career event. So we bring industry professionals to a session where you get to meet them and talk about the creative industries, professional careers, enterprise, running your own business, working with a company. So it's quite a fascinating, interesting part of the programme. Next slide. So portfolios. So this is always really important. What we say, and this little section is focused mostly on fashion, but we do have other ways to connect different practice. But what we say across UL is that the portfolio should be about you. It's about your work. It's about your practice. What do you want to say about your work and yourself as a creative maker, as a creative thinker? That's important. Have creative ambition, a bit like at the beginning when we spoke about ABC, but definitely have ambition for your work. Show intention and be authentic with what you're doing. I think it's important as a creative person myself to not compare yourself to others and really focus on what you bring to your projects. Within your creative outcomes, also show who you are outside of the studio and outside of school. So think about your hobbies and your interests. If you really enjoy sport, or if you love reading or movies, just show that within your creative practice, because that will inform your inspiration all the time. Also, always, it's really important, show process. So that's problem solving, sketches, the mistakes that you make. So it's not always necessarily about the perfect outcome, but make it personal. And I think at the bottom, enjoy the creative journey. And that's something that we always need to remind our students, that it's a privilege, it's fun, it's exciting, it's a journey that you're on when you're developing your practice and your skills. So just enjoy them. Next slide, please. This is a funny question. I can't remember this being in the slide. So style, aesthetic. So we probe this question sometimes, wondering in terms of your fashion and your style, if you're a maximalist. So if you like lots of busy pages and lots of textures and lots of textiles and print and clashing and all those kind of things, Or are you a minimalist with your output? So is it very clean and very slick and very ordered and there's not much detail? And I think the next slide gives a good example of that within a fashion context. So a maximalist, we could say, is someone like Matty Bovin, who's a really exciting UAL graduate. And on the left, it's like lots going on. It's very maximalist. But then an example of minimalism within a fashion context is Jill Sander on the right, which is very clean, very tailored, muted. So that's kind of a nice visual example of thinking, are you one or the other, or are you a mixture of both? Or some of your projects are very maximalist and some of your projects are more stripped back and a little bit calmer, potentially. It's good to show both within your portfolio. Thanks, Tracy. Research methods. So I already mentioned about process and about showing the sketches and the stitches and the samples and all those sort of details, but also research is really key. So what we must see within portfolio is primary research. So that is your own photography, drawings, mark making, collage, note taking. Just who are you and how do you make decisions and process your thoughts? So we need to see that. That's really key. And obviously secondary is really important as well. So using Instagram, catwalk.com, Days Digital, lots of amazing resources out there. It's good to see that as well. Images from magazines and from books, really important, but it needs to be a bit a mixture of both. You can't rely on a published image to really express how you feel within the research context. So it's a very fine line, but we love to see drawing and photography and mark making. That's really key. So it's a mixture of both. And that's a great image. I love that image of Louise Gray on the Louise Gray's work. But yeah, so find a document inspiration from your surroundings. Find and document, inspiration from wherever you are in your surroundings. So these are like really fun, kind of poppy and interesting things. We obviously have Marie Antoinette and Batman and the Squid Games. So it could be anything, like we said, if you're into sports or movies or film, whatever you are, just bring yourself and document that and be inspired by your surroundings. Makes sense, I know, but sometimes when you're in the middle of your project, you forget that. So it's good just that's what we really care about here at UAL. And then next slide, Tracy. Making visual connections. So this is really important, and this is what is good to see in a portfolio. So for example, within a fashion context, the red dress on the left is from the 1988 movie, which is like several lifetimes ago, Beetlejuice, where she wears the red tulle oversized dress. And then more modern take on that is when Bella Hadid, in the middle, wore that in as a parody or as a sort of tribute during a fancy, famous people party type thing, Met Gala or something. And then on the right-hand side is Simone Rocha developing that silhouette and that fabrication and that code for Jean-Paul Gaultier. So instantly when you see those three parts of the journey, that really sums up a sort of moment of pop culture and within trend and zeitgeist. So make connections, whatever they are. Next slide. As we said, process is important. So step by step, how did you arrive at an idea? If it's fashion, if it's garment analysis, consider proportions, placement, textiles, details, all those kind of things. Go to the next slide. And then we've said this already. So with your mediums, so colors, layers, materials, pen and ink, techniques, collage, etc. Next slide. This is a really beautiful image of one of our alumni who was really experimenting with pen and collage and photorealism within their work. And I think it's really lovely. And when I look at this, that to me reads both maximalist and minimalism, but maybe because it's grey tones and black and white, it's maybe divisive, but I think that's a really beautiful, strong example of a portfolio, a couple of pages from portfolio. Next. And then obviously we're always considering climate and thinking about the world around us. So shows that you're reusing materials, that you're thinking about how you can be more sustainable, how you can be ethical within your practice. Even small things like a IKEA famous carrier bag, then made into a fun product like a bag, side bag, and then put onto a sort of more fashion context. Whatever you're into just shows that. That's where the authenticity will come from. Next slide. So written submissions. So if you're applying for our semester program with fashion business and London College of Communication, there is a written element to that. And when you apply, you will be sent details and information from the ops team. So don't worry, we sort of support you as you go through, but there is a written submission, maybe 500 words, give or take. And that could be a published blog or a piece of writing from an essay or reflection that you've done. So we like to hear your voice. That's important. Next slide. So that's the written part. And then portfolio. So if you're submitting for Central St. Martin's semester, we would like around 20 landscape pages. Again, what I've said, process, drawings, primary research, photography, mark making. Just show 2, 3, 4 different projects. Just show who you are. And if you have obsessive interest in a certain area, explore that, have fun with that. And that will really come through. With London College of Fashion, I believe the fashion design is 5 landscape images, because that's at slightly different levels. So again, when you apply, all these details will be emailed quite clearly for you. So we look after you will look after that. And then I think that's, yes, more help. So if you scan this QR code, there's lots of dice on your website about tips on submitting a digital portfolio. And we have the students talking about their experiences, and we have tutors as well, professors as well. So you'll definitely be looked after when it comes to that process. Next slide, please.
Yep. Mhm.
Great. And then, so learning environments. So just thinking about what you will experience when you're here. So we obviously have lectures and seminars, quite traditional, lots of workshops, group work, tutorials, one-to-one and within your group of students. Live projects, external visits are really important. We want you to experience all of London and north, east, south, and west, and we take you on a big journey around. We're also thinking about independent study and what you do outside of the studio, outside of the building. And then personal and professional development is important as well. Thank you. And then learning expectations. So you will learn through research, you'll learn through experimentation, and learn through reflection. They're really important. You'll also observe, whether that be within a drawing class or a technical class or a business class. You'll always be observing and then applying that through your doing. So learning by doing is really important. And then I won't be done with this because I know we're against the clock. An assessment practice. So you will be assessed on everything that you do with study abroad. We have a really rigorous and inclusive practice around assessment. So you'll work really closely with your professors and with the teams of people in your class to make sure that you fulfill all the metrics, all the measures you want to. We really want you to do well. So we'll really support you with all those assessment practices. Again, we'll send the slides, so we don't need to read all this out to you.
Thank you, Scott. That's
Great,
brilliant.
social life.
Thanks. So yeah, I'm
Quick.
just going to talk a few minutes about the social side when you're at UAL, and then we'll go to Q&A. So we do have events. So if you're doing the study abroad semester, you get a welcome event that's open to all study abroad students and exchanges as well. There is a graduation event for the UAL study abroad semester. For integrated students, you are on your degree course, so there'll be events around that. You're invited to the welcome event, and we do some college-specific events that we bring all students in. There's also the Creative Careers event that Scott mentioned, and we open that up to study abroad and exchange too. So we have the big welcome at UAL. So especially if you're coming in autumn, there's a big welcome event for all of the new students starting their degree courses, study abroad. And so we share details with that with you. You can join the Arts Student Union societies, you get student cards, so you get access to student prices for galleries, museum. Most things are free anyway, but if there's any exhibitions you want to go to, there's usually a really good student price, and exhibitions and degree shows as well. So yeah, you're really brought into UAL student life when you're here. These are just a snapshot of some of our societies and sports clubs. So yeah, there's all kinds of different societies for whatever you're interested in, and they do loads of events. If you come to our big welcome fair, then they have stands and you can go around and meet them. We also have sports clubs, so yeah, it's a really good way of meeting other UAL students while you're here. We do have some funding available, so depending on what program you're applying for. So this is the current offer for spring 2026. So we have two awards of £1,500 for spring and three full tuition awards for spring 2026. We offer for summer tuition award for 3-week programs. And we're going to update after the spring deadline in October. We're going to update our website for the next round of awards from autumn 2026 as well. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on our awards and make sure you apply for those if you're coming to us. We have accommodation, so housing that you can apply for. So if you're coming for only the autumn term or only the spring term, there are two options: Costume Store in North Acton and Glass Yard in Stockwell. If you scan this QR code, you can get all the information. If you're coming for the full year on integrated, there is a bit more choice of any UAL hall. We've got 12 in total. Prices range from about £240 to £330 per week, depending on what hall you select and which type of room and so on. But you can check online. There's even little journey times. So if you know what college you're going to, you can check the travel time from the halls to the college. Just to say, in London, generally it's there's quite a bit of commute time across different places. So yeah, we try and place you in the closest hall, but just to say if you do stay in UAL Hall, there might be a little bit of travel time to get to your college, and that's something that most Londoners are used to, hopping on a bus or so on to get to work or to college. So yeah, you can check that all before you come. And if you ever have any trouble finding the information, just drop us an email. This is just an example of our hall in North Acton, the reception. I mentioned earlier about digital badges, so this is just a little preview of what your certificate looks like. Once you've completed the course, you get emailed this and a PDF that you can download. And we also have social media, so give us a follow, and we post loads of content from our award winners and behind the scenes content, and also promote our events and other UAL information. So yeah, do check that out. This is our contact information, so you can email us, or yeah, if you scan this QR code, you go to our website. We've got loads of information, loads more that we can fit into this presentation. But yeah, thank you very much for joining, and we'll move to the Q&A. So if anyone's got any questions, please pop those in the chat.